is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Arizona.
One team is poised for the postseason while the other is already planning for 2013. It's a Friday night WNBA showdown as the Minnesota Lynx ready to take on your Phoenix Mercury here on Fox Sports Arizona. Well, hi again, everybody, alongside the Hall of Famer Ann Myers-Drysdale, Kevin Ray, and thrilled you could be with us for this Western Conference clash. Well, it's a matchup that in years past meant a lot. It certainly still does for the Minnesota Lynx. Conversely, for the Phoenix Mercury, they're trying to survive these last couple of games as they look ahead to 2013.
Yeah, they really are, and they've done it with really reserved players, and it's really been a struggle because it's been a short bench. A lot of players injured this year, but they've always played with a lot of heart during this season. Minnesota's a tough matchup for them because they've lost all 3 games the Phoenix Mercury has to the Minnesota Lynx, and so this is a big game just to play hard.
We've chronicled the injuries. We've chronicled all the games missed for Coach Corey Gaines and this Mercury club, but it certainly bears repeating the play and the continued emergence of fourth-year forward DeWanna Bonner. When you think about her coming out of the University of Auburn, Annie, people looked at her frame thinking, how can she survive? But she has excelled each and every year she's been in the league.
She really has, and coming off the bench for the last 3 years, she was 6th Woman of the Year, and now in her 4th year able to start, get a lot of minutes behind her. So certainly her numbers have gone up, not only scoring wise, she's the #2 scorer in the league, but she is the person that everybody guards now, and she's getting doubled and triple teamed and still putting up the numbers.
Yeah, put up some big numbers throughout the course of the season and has displayed some newfound leadership as well. That will serve her and this Mercury team well going into 2013. Let's talk about their opponent, the Minnesota Lynx. You have to start with the dynamic duo, of course, of Simone Augustus and Maya Moore, and this team looks every bit the defending champion that they are.
Yeah, WNBA championship MVP Simone Augustus and Rookie of the Year Maya Moore, certainly both having terrific years. Olympians along with Lindsay Whalen and Taj McWilliams Franklin in the middle. They've got a strong bench. They're #1 in virtually all the categories, and that's why they're the strongest team right now.
They are certainly a tough cover. The Mercury, as you mentioned, have had a difficult time at slowing this crew down. And we'll see if the Lynx can keep their focus as they look towards the postseason. Right now, though, we're focused on tip-off. Stay with us, the Lynx and the Mercury, ready to go when we return. Then with the Phoenix Mercury here on Fox Sports Arizona. With the Hall of Famer Ann Myers-Drysdale, Kevin Ray. Let's take a look at our starting lineups as the Minnesota Lynx in town to take on the Phoenix Mercury. The lineups brought to you by BBVA Compass. BBVA Compass team works. Simone Augustus, Lindsay Whalen back on the floor. Devereaux Peters coming off an outstanding night last night. Despite the loss, Rebecca Brunson and the other forward, the ultra-talented Maya Moore, and they are led by their head coach, Cheryl Reed, now in her 3rd year. Lynx come in with a league best record 26-6. For the Phoenix Mercury, head coach Corey Gaines' crew led by Alexis Hornbuckle, Sammy Prahalis back in the lineup after missing 6 games. Crystal Thomas, and yeah, there's a name we haven't seen too much this season, Candice Dupree, after a 21-game absence, and of course, DeWanna Bonner. And Annie, I know a lot of people looking, especially at Candice, and saying, you've missed so much time, why do you come back? But I think it's a testament to just how hard she's worked, one, and her desire to go out and at least play a few games before this season gets wrapped up.
I had talked to her after the Olympic break, and she said, you know, I really want to get back. I want to get back and see how I can do and my conditioning and so forth. And you're absolutely right. Give her credit for wanting to come back. And her minutes are going to be limited. You know, she's so explosive in what she can do. She had 6 points in the 15 minutes that she played, but time is going to be limited. Conditioning, when you're out on the floor, it's completely different. It's going to be the same way with Sammy Prahalis. No matter how hard they worked with Corey Gaines and working 2-on-2s, you know, it just is completely different when you get out on the floor.
And the good news for Candace Dupree and the Mercury is that her time won't be limited here in Phoenix, just signing a new multi-year agreement. And so that's great news all the way around. So here we go. Friday night WNBA matchup here from the U.S. Airways Center. Phoenix controlling, wearing the pink uniforms, supporting breast health awareness. Bonner gets tied up there by Moore. Prahalis works to her left, finds the rolling Dupree. And that's that shot that she was just so money at and just missing that one off the back of the iron. Well, back comes Simone Augustus.
You know, one of the things Corey Gaines talked about is that turnovers. They've really got to cut down their turnovers. The last 5 games, they've averaged over 20 turnovers, and Lindsay Whalen getting inside the lane for an easy layup.
Terrific play right there. This is a Minnesota team that's been on the road quite a lot over the last 2 weeks. At the White House earlier this week, meeting with President Obama. Terrific drive there from Prahalis as she took it high off the glass. Travel from Washington, D.C., then to Los Angeles, where they played the Sparks last night and suffered their worst loss of the season, though most of the minutes were tied up by the bench, which provided 48 points for the Lynx. Nice drop-off pass to Peters, and Peters, one of those players who really responded last night, Annie. You look at what she did, 17 points, 13 rebounds for the Lynx. The rookie out of Notre Dame, 3rd overall pick, and could play a vital role in the upcoming playoffs. Long shot up the mark, and Whalen leaking out and gets the easy lay-in.
Yeah, Peters averaging 13 minutes a game, played 28 last night against Los Angeles, and certainly when you're playing that many more minutes, you're going to get more confidence. But getting the start tonight with Taj McWilliams, Franklin sitting on the bench.
Yeah, Taj resting those veteran bones, but joining an elite group as we get the turnover charge there on Maya Moore, with Taj McWilliams Franklin scoring her 5,000th point last night at Los Angeles. As we see Dupree, again, what she does as well as any forward in the game, that mid-range jumper just so deadly.
You like her being aggressive and attacking too.
EB from way outside, Dupree there to finish it up, puts it up and in. Ties it at 6.
These are the number 1 and 2 teams in the league in rebounding. Minnesota number 1, Phoenix number 2.
Here's Peters, quick jump hook, that one off the window. So back comes Phoenix, led by Prahalis. Good delivery inside to Thomas. Thomas, well, it looked like she got grabbed there by Lindsay Whalen. No call. Instead, we'll get a traveling call on Thomas.
It just really had a tough time catching her balance. She kind of took her momentum, took her away from the basket a little bit too much, and wasn't able to square up. You know, and Whalen missed the game last night, her first miss. And you look for Cheryl Reeves to maybe rest her players a little bit, as you said, going into the playoffs. You know, you want to win down the stretch. Certainly they lost to Los Angeles tonight. They want to win against Phoenix, and then they go on to San Antonio. But when you've lost games going into the playoffs, and I think LA's got a little bit of an edge confidence-wise with that win last night.
Well, and LA's done already, which is interesting scheduling quirk, if you want to call it that, as Peters can't hit the putback. And then stepping on the in line on the rebound was Alexis Hornbuckle. So LA resting until midweek next week. Meanwhile, after tonight, Minnesota will jump on the plane tomorrow morning, fly to San Antonio. Now the Western Conference and Eastern Conference spots all secured. But to your point, you don't want to feel like you're losing any kind of momentum. And that's that kind of difficult balancing act that a coach has to weigh as Dupree gets out in the open floor.
Exactly.
Finds Bonner. Nice pass inside to Hornbuckle, who lays it up and in.
And we've seen that balancing act here in Phoenix with 2 championships in 07 and 09, and how the coaches had to, you know, really kind of figure out how they were going to play the players and get them ready for the playoffs.
And with that playoff format, as Maya Moore rings up the long 3, with that playoff format, you've got Minnesota, who will open on the road at Seattle. As Thomas can't grab that rebound. Instead, it's Rebecca Brunson having another terrific season. Augustus pull-up three, no. Thomas able to rip that one away.
Minnesota, the #1 team in three-point shooting, and you knew they weren't going to have the same night that they did last night against LA. Maya Moore was 1 of 8 from threes.
Little turnaround shot by Dupree off the mark. Here comes Moore. Moore with a high 29 points in the contest against Indiana. Easy lay in there for Maya Moore.
There's a Minnesota team with 3 Olympians in Lindsay Whalen, Simone Augustus, and Maya Moore.
That pass deflected by Brunson. Sets up the turnover and now triggers the break here for the Lynx. And, well, you look at Minnesota and you see a mirror image of what Phoenix has been up until this season. Just getting out and running every opportunity as Prahalis gets tied up over in the
Well, they call the jump ball, I think.
far sideline. She was trying to call timeout, but yeah, you're right. They will whistle the jump ball. That's Sharday Houston and Nakia Sanford.
And this is off the turnover, but you see the really nice shot by Maya Moore coming in on the weak side. And defensively, you know, Phoenix a little slow right now in this game, and Minnesota, a tough defensive team where they like to double you up and put a lot of pressure on the ball handler. And Sammy Prahalis, again, conditioning-wise, when you're tired and fatigued, you have a tendency to make decisions that are not always the right decisions.
You know, Whalen was heading off the floor for a breather, but she'll be requested back. You know, the jump ball. And Sanford, the veteran, sneaking in to grab that one. Two seconds on the shot clock. Bonner finds herself wide open three. And from way downtown, knocks it in. Here's Brunson. Bonner got a hand on it, but got a piece of the hand as well, so she'll be whistled for the personal foul. We'll get a timeout on the floor. 4:54 to play here in the opening quarter. Western Conference clash, the Lynx and the Mercury. Joanna Bonner, another outstanding season here in Phoenix. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona offers health plans with choice, flexibility, and service. For information, visit askblueaz.com/Mercury. 13-11, the visiting Lynx leading the Phoenix Mercury here in this Friday night showdown. With Cheryl Reeve turning to her bench early here. Those Simone Augustus and Maya Moore remain on the floor. Candace Wiggins, a terrific three-point sniper for Minnesota, knocks that one down, extends the lead 16-11.
Yeah, Wiggins was 1 of 8 from the floor last night against LA, 1 of 5 from threes, and again, you knew it wasn't going to last long. She takes about 5 shots a game, 4 of them are threes.
Here's Bonner driving through her left, gets tied up there in the baseline, little leaner inside. Unable to get that one to go down.
Minnesota doing a great job getting down the floor, and Phoenix really slow on the defensive transition.
And you do not want to be slow in transition against this club. They will make you pay as Augustus hits the baseline pull up, 18-11.
They have such balanced scoring also.
Prahalis, nice job of kind of surveying the defense. Can't get that shot to go down. Battle for the loose ball, and Bonner comes away with it. Lays it up and in. 5 early points here for DB.
We mentioned in the opening that she's the second leading scorer in the league with 21 points. So, you know, certainly she wants to take good shots and get a lot because she is the main offense for Phoenix. That's where you hope others can step up.
Jessica Adair checks in now for the Lynx. Prahalis getting double teamed way outside.
Yeah, she's got to recognize that a little quicker.
Here's Bonner trying to work that crossover, and she'll be fouled there by Monica Wright. Wright not too pleased with the call. 19 last night in that loss against the Sparks for Monica Wright.
And certainly with one of the starters out for Minnesota, it changes their bench in the rotation. Their bench, if you have their regular 5 starters, their bench averages 27 points and 11 rebounds.
Prahalis, nice job of splitting the defense. Drops it back to Houston. Quick trigger on the 3. Got it. And we're going to have an out-of-bounds called on Monica Wright, who was up the far sideline. And
penetration by Prahalis, and spotting up is Sharday Houston, knocking that shot down. And she is due. She has struggled since she's come back as far as her offense is concerned.
Here's Bonner. Looking inside for Sanford. Good deep post position on the turnaround. Little home cooking there for Nakia Sanford. Ties it up at 18. So a 7-0 run here by Phoenix. Houston diving out for the steal. Can't get it. Augustus trying to make her pay. Unable to do so. But then stepping into the passing lane was Candace Wiggins. She comes up with a steal, and Minnesota's got it right back. Peters inside. A lot of contact. And no foul call. Here's Prahalis. Pull up, free throw line, money.
When Prahalis gets her confidence back, you know that she's going to look to score.
2 for 4 from the field to start here for Prahalis, having missed 6 games. Boy, nice look inside by Peters, but you get Monica Wright, who was tripped up.
The foul's number 24, DeWanna Bonner, her second foul, second Mercury team foul. Into the Lynx line.
Now Bonner's going to be charged with that foul. She was trying to plead her case that she was on the other side of the lane, but to no avail. So 2 fouls now on DeWanna Bonner.
Which is probably true, and that's where her teammate, I mean, if it's Nakia Sanford, Sanford's got to step up and say that was my foul and explain to the officials.
Hand off to Wiggins. She's got great range. Can't connect on that one, but chasing down her own miss.
Long shot, long rebound, and Minnesota's in a position to get that long rebound.
Here's Augustus trying to feed it inside to Adair. Nice strong post move, but can't finish. Rebound Thomas up ahead now to Prahalis.
And Thomas coming off her second double-double of the season.
And Prahalis gets her pocket picked there by Wright. Up ahead to Augustus. And Bonner wanted to avoid that 3rd foul. Just lets her lay it up and in. Tied at 20.
Simone Augustus, so smooth, so unassuming.
Whistle and a foul. That's going to be charged against Monica Wright. That'll be
And that's
2
a great
on
mismatch
Wright.
for DeWanna Bonner with the smaller players on her. And there you see Monica Wright with the steal and a nice over-the-head pass and good control by Simone Augustus going in like for a high jump rather than a long jump, being under control.
And it's easy to get caught up in the offensive numbers that Minnesota has. Number 1 in so many offensive categories, or number 2. But they matched that with some very stingy defense. Bonner cutting on a baseline, can't get that one. Here's Whalen, who just checked back in.
Brunson got a piece of that.
Brunson trailing, attacking the basket, and she'll be fouled hard there. And Nakia Sanford will pick that one up.
Foul's number 43, Nakia Sanford, her first foul. 3rd Mercury team foul.
Mercury shooting 53% from the floor. Don't have as many shots up as
Rebecca Brunson to the line. 2 shots.
Minnesota does, and they're right in this game.
And that's been their problem the 3 previous meetings, Annie, is just unable to shoot with any kind of high percentage.
The 3 games before losing by an average of over 18 points.
Free throw's good. Minnesota with a 2-point lead. Here's Prahalis being tied up there in the backcourt. Whalen trying to trap her. Houston, quick look at the three. This one rims out into the hands of Bonner. Knows exactly what to do with it.
The rebounder is keeping the ball alive, and Prahalis did a good job getting rid of the ball that time quickly with that double team coming.
Here's Wiggins outside. Looking for Aaron Thorne, who's just coming to the ball game. Had 10 points off the bench last night. Adair, nice little handoff, cutting baseline. Whalen lay it up and in. And Whalen was 6. And Prahalis and Bonner miscommunicating there.
Inconsistency of Prahalis not being on the floor. I mean, she's been practicing, but hasn't been on the floor in a game situation. So, as you said, miscommunication.
Shot clock and game clock nearly in sync. Wiggins working it down to 7. And a whistle and a foul.
The foul's number 22, Shardy Houston, her first foul. First in the last minute.
Mercury had one to give.
Lynx ball.
7.2 left in the opening quarter. A good one. Wiggins to Brunson. Time running down. Brunson trying to get a shot off. She just is able to. But no foul call. That will bring us to the close of the opening quarter here from the U.S. Airways Center in downtown Phoenix. Minnesota, Phoenix. Final regular season matchup. Lindsay Whalen and company with a 2-point lead. Well, be sure and join the Mercury for Fan Appreciation Day, the last home game of the season. It's this Sunday at noon versus Sue Bird and the Seattle Storm. First 7,000 fans get a team poster, plus Mercury players will stay after the game and sign autographs on the main court. Tickets starting at just $10. Get yours at phoenixmercury.com. 24-22, Lynx with a lead as we head to the second quarter here. Kevin Ray and Myers Drysdale.
Pretty clean game in that first quarter. 22 points by Phoenix, shooting over 50%.
Quick turn right of the lane there for Adair, and Bonner there to snare the rebound. 7 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists already for DB. Houston on the drive and got some contact. Well, you had one jump ball, which when the outside official calls the right call, which was a blocking foul. Take a look at it again.
Well, which one was called first? And they're saying the foul was called before the jump ball, and the fact that Peters is standing on the line, you know, so she wasn't outside the line.
I'm not sure how you get a jump ball out of that to begin with. The ball was never pinned. As Sharday Houston.
Good communication by the officials.
One-time member of the Lynx at the line. Both her and Alexis Hornbuckle part of that championship squad a year ago. 24-23. Yes, Houston getting 1 of 2 on that trip. Whalen works to her left. Finds Wiggins. You got to close out quick on her. Can't connect on that 3, but Houston comes up with it. Wants to run. Keeps coming. And Houston, tough break. Can't get the finish. Alexis Hornbuckle. Back out to Houston. Trying that up and under move, which we've seen her do with great regularity. Nice bounce pass feed, cutting the lane. Bonner from Hornbuckle, and DB able to draw the foul, and she'll be at the line to shoot 2.
You like the aggressiveness the Mercury are having as far as attacking, and a heads-up play by Sharday Houston. She misses the layup, but sense enough to bring the ball back out and set things up, and Bonner wide open cutting to the basket. Bonner, who had 11 free throws in that last game against Chicago, her first free throws of the night. She averages 7 free throws and has the most makes and takes in the league this year.
Well, and I think, that is a testament to really how well-rounded her game has become, Annie. Not just settling outside where, last couple of years when you had the other weapons on the floor, when Taurasi and Taylor and Dupree, she could sit out there. But I think her quick recognition of her needing to alter her game a bit as Aaron Thorne knocks down the long three. Again, just speaks volumes about her headiness as a player.
Absolutely, and you just love to see the confidence she has in her game, too, this year with so many minutes and the ball in her hand.
Here's Hornbuckle, makes a spin back to the right, fires a pass inside to Kaiser, unable to hang on, and so Minnesota basketball following the Phoenix turnover. That's the 7th turnover already for Phoenix, and it has been a well-documented problem all season long for Phoenix.
Yeah, they've had 11 games with 20-plus turnovers.
Here's Peters way outside. And Whalen taking her eye off the ball, much like a receiver in football would. Goes out of bounds, turnover Minnesota.
And that's the biggest thing right now for Phoenix. If they can take advantage of a turnover from Minnesota, they get in this game. I mean, not to say that they're not, but if they can get the lead, they'll play with a little bit more ease, I think.
Bonner open for three. And this one too strong, and Brunson able to grab it away for Minnesota. Brunson with 6 double-doubles in the last 11 games, having another terrific season. Whalen has it tapped from behind by Houston, but Bonner unable to get there in time as it rolls out of bounds. So Minnesota will maintain possession with 9 on the shot clock, 7:31 on the game clock as Candace Dupree will check back in.
It's certainly the majority of the starters for Minnesota, as we mentioned early in that first quarter too, Kevin, is that they're going to rest their starters quite a bit and get them ready. This is a back-to-back game as they played LA last night, and Sunday they play San Antonio.
Aaron Thorne sets her feet, knocks down the trio.
Thorne had 6 threes coming into this game, shooting 27%. She's a three-point shooter, but we talked about they shoot as a team just under 40% from threes.
Offensive board as Phoenix getting a reset on the shot clock. Kaiser powers her way inside, stays with it, missing again, and then a loose ball foul as Kaiser can't believe her luck. Had it on both sides of the basket and unable to close the deal.
Sammy Prahalis.
Now the ball rotation and Aaron Thorne setting up, and just, there's just such a different feel with Minnesota tonight on their outside shooting than it was last night against LA.
And you mentioned Minnesota and their shooting prowess. Lynx on the verge of setting the single season record for field goal accuracy as well, which currently held by Phoenix. Right now, Minnesota coming in shooting 47.5% as a team. Phoenix set that mark back in 2010 at 47.3. Dupree inside. Moore getting a hand on it and finally able to steal it away.
And Minnesota's been playing that zone and kind of sagging in, and really tough to put the ball on the floor down there.
And how about Aaron Thorne? Did you say 53% three-point shooter?
Tonight.
Bonner steps in, can't hit the 18-footer. Lead pass up ahead from Whalen to Thorne. Well, Thorne getting on a little bit of a roll last night with 10 against LA, and getting a little carryover effect here as Kaiser will sit down and Crystal Thomas will check back in. 33-25, Minnesota with a lead. Minnesota with a league best 26-6, 16-1 at home this season, as both Minnesota and LA sharing identical home marks. Thorne feeling it, little heat check right there. As Hornbuckle unable to corral that one as it goes out of bounds. 10th year out of BYU for Aaron Thorne. Played briefly with Chicago.
Started out in New York.
Here's Moore, feeds it into the post for Augustus. Turnaround won't go for Simone Augustus. Augustus just came back Monday after missing 3 games due to a mild sprain in her right foot. Peters on the lead pass. Nice pass to Moore on the wing, who takes a glass and knocks it down.
Well, they're just beating the Mercury down the court in good position. Maya Moore, just a little bank shot off the glass with an 8-footer, and good control by Peters on the little drop pass.
Hornbuckle open for 3. Not this time. Here comes Moore in the open court. Hands it off to Brunson.
Well, they're getting so deep in the lane, too, even if they drop it off the shot from the outside. But once you penetrate like that, the defense is just sagging in there.
All of a sudden, a 15-3 scoring run for Minnesota. And Coach Corey Gaines wants to call a timeout. Comes with 5:10 to play here in the second quarter. Lynx with a lead, 37-25.
All right, X-Factor, it's time to jump.
Better.
Witness fast-paced Mercury basketball action live. Games run through September and tickets start at only $10. Visit PhoenixMercury.com for details.
37-25, Minnesota leading the Phoenix Mercury here from the U.S. Airways Center in downtown Phoenix. Coach Corey Gaines' wardrobe looking sharp tonight as always, and courtesy of the Clothery at the Biltmore Fashion Park. 13-3 start for the second quarter for the Minnesota Lynx, Annie, and that's just how explosive they can be. Phoenix, after shooting nearly 53% in the opening quarter, 0 for 7 here in the second quarter, and Minnesota 5 of 10.
Yeah, and having 4 turnovers in that span, and Aaron Thorne knocking down 3 of 4 threes.
Dupree with a challenge shot there by Peters, managed to get it back and lays it up and in. Stops the scoring run now by the Lynx. Here's Peters, lobs it down inside for Moore, and got the mismatch with the smaller Samantha Prahalis on her.
Well, Minnesota recognized it right away, and Moore at 6 foot, Prahalis at 5'6", and Prahalis just stood there. But you've got to be able to switch out on that. You got to help out a little bit more, recognizing that mismatch.
Nice ball fake, step in, 15-footer, silky smooth for Maya Moore.
Crystal Thomas stepping over the line before the ball came in.
When one of those rare calls, because you see it on all levels, at least
right,
professional levels, I should say, NBA and the WNBA.
There's a lack of concentration with players sometimes.
Well, a lot of times the officials just don't call it, because it happens.
Right,
it happens about 7 out of 10 possessions. Especially for those teams who prefer to run and get up the floor. But it goes down as a 10th turnover already here for Phoenix. Thorne looking to her right, finds Moore, and Moore had that shot challenged by Houston. Loose ball. Peters, Augustus, easy 2.
They call it 50-50 balls right now. Minnesota's coming up with all those loose balls, those second chances.
Well, and Annie, we've talked about it quite a lot through the course of the season. For Phoenix, there always seems to be one bad quarter in each game that has been their undoing. And unfortunately, right now, it's this second quarter as they find themselves down by 14. We were tied at 22 all at one juncture.
It's tough to play that catch-up all the time.
Especially against a team like Minnesota. Nice little runner there from Prahalis. 6 points for Prahalis on 3 of 5 shooting. Augustus out of the corner. Won't get this one. Thomas up ahead and out of Prahalis. Here's Dupree. Nice delivery to the cutting Crystal Thomas, who lays it up and in.
Phoenix has had about 4 easy baskets like that.
Prahalis trying to fight her way over the screen. Bonner getting a hand on the pass, stepping out into the passing lane. 11 on the shot clock. Minnesota 27-7 last season en route to their first ever WNBA championship. Seven on the shot clock. Whalen recognizing, pull up baseline jumper is good. That's the one part of Whalen's game that has improved so much over the last, I would say, 3 seasons, Annie.
That outside season.
When she first came into the league, really looked to be more of a penetrator and driver, and anything beyond 10 or 12 feet, you just didn't see her shoot with a lot of confidence, but that has changed.
And that's certainly playing in Connecticut. It was a different kind of system, and you know she was learning the league, that's for sure. And she said it's quicker, it's faster. But when she was at Minnesota, University of Minnesota, she was an outside shooter. I mean, she'd get in the lane, she's strong, just bull you. The most impressive thing is she finishes shots with contact.
Timeout on the floor comes with 2:49 to play here in the second quarter. Lynx on top by 12, 43-31. 31 Lynx leading the Phoenix Mercury, 2:49 to play here in the first half. And this is a Phoenix Mercury organization, Annie, that is accustomed and enjoys the century mark, but just not when it comes to this. 101 games lost to injury here in 2012.
And we had mentioned in past broadcasts, too, that they have had, including preseason, 20 players in a Mercury jersey this season. And there's been a lot of 7-day contracts. Diamond Simon is on the team right now. She's out. She pulled her hamstring a little bit against Chicago. Gilbreth, they had to let go with Candace Dupree coming back, and but they sure loved her game, and they hope that she's back, Brianna Gilbreth. And the fans loved her, too. And Kaiser, Lynetta Kaiser's had an opportunity to make this team because of the injuries.
Well, as we've noted in some of the recent broadcasts, it really has become in some way for Coach Corey Gaines and his staff an extended training camp into 2013 because they've gotten to look at so many players.
Yeah, and how do you keep them all in shape and the timing and within the system and knowing each other's moves and where they're going to be?
Well, and I think that all ties in with, as we talk going into break, those one bad quarters that have haunted Phoenix, right. And all that really as a result of so many different players being in uniform, being on the floor. I mean, how few times the same combination went from game to game.
And what really plays on it, not just on the offensive end, defensively, the trust factor.
Here's Bonner as Minnesota staying in that zone. Prahalis can't connect on the 15-footer. Moore able to keep the dribble alive, but Prahalis with a steal, little look off, and lays it up and in. And a nice game thus far in her 13 minutes, 8 points, 2 assists for Sammy P.
That takes a lot of pressure off Alexis Hornbuckle at that point guard position.
Houston and Augustus getting tangled up, and the foul charged against Sharday Houston.
Fourth Mercury team foul, Lynx ball.
5th year out of UConn.
She was an all-star at Minnesota.
Well, you think this is a Minnesota team that's had a wealth of talent over the last 5+ years. It's just not last year and a half. As Whalen, again, using her strength to get inside, and just as you mentioned, probably one of the best point guards and maybe the best point guard in the league at finishing.
Yeah, it was a great pass by Devereaux Peter, though. She just really has had a couple of drop passes in the middle.
Prahalis gets inside, lobs it up to Thomas. Thomas can't finish with the left hand. And Peters may have gotten a piece of that one. Up ahead to Augustus. And Augustus on the leaner. Won't go, but she'll draw the foul, and Simone Augustus will be at the line to shoot a pair. Comes with 1:21 to play here in this first half.
Simone Augustus to the line.
You know, Minnesota taking advantage of that 3-on-2 break, and the one thing you like, too, is that Minnesota is that they take advantage of the mismatches. And right now I think Sammy Prahalis is really getting taken advantage of with her size, and they don't hesitate as far as looking for a shot against her.
Augustus, 7 points, 4 assists in her 14 minutes, and certainly will be in the MVP conversations, along with her teammate Maya Moore. Prahalis got more running at her, stepped in, but can't knock down the 15-footer. And Augustus, nice job of boxing out the bigger Thomas. That comes Minnesota. Here's Whalen, delivers to Moore. Moore fouled hard there by Hornbuckle. And you know, Alexis Hornbuckle is not going to allow any free passes to the basket.
Well, I thought it was a pass off Maya Moore. She's going up, but then she hesitates. Well, yeah, she's going up for the shot, but you're right. Hornbuckle is not going to let anybody come in there for an easy basket, and you have to respect that too. I mean, I know earlier in the season, or a couple games ago, she was called for a flagrant foul, but she is one tough cookie, and I think it's a team right now, because it is in disarray because of the injuries, that you need somebody that has a little bit of an attitude out on the floor.
Well, and you know, coming into this season, before all the injuries came about for this team, it was the one thing that we were excited about with Alexis Hornbuckle, because she gave this team that edge that you're talking about, that defensive attitude.
Yeah, great pedigree from University of Tennessee and playing for Pat Summitt and winning a couple national championships. And then winning a championship in Detroit with the Shock when they were there, and then also with Minnesota.
Lynx staying in that zone. 44 seconds left. Bonner on the drive. And we'll get a foul called away from the ball.
You know, and even with those injuries, Kevin, you know, Sammy Prahalis, I mean, give her credit. She's got 8 points so far in this first half, and you know, she's pretty tough. I mean, she comes in there, and I know that other teams have taken advantage of her, but she comes right back at you.
Bonner, deep three on the way. And no good, loose ball foul inside. And that will go against the rookie Devereaux Peters, helping Notre Dame get to the NCAA championship game each of the last 2 seasons. 2-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year.
And her offense gets overlooked. Plays tough defense, rebounder.
Well, really a great situation when you think about it for a rookie to be in, because defense really is her foundation, and because they've got so many scorers on this team, no pressure on her, and that allows her to go out just as she did last night, 17 points, 13 rebounds. So it's given her an opportunity to really kind of feel out the WNBA game in this her rookie season. Whalen on the challenge pull-up, no. Rebound Thomas. 51-34. Big second quarter here for the Lynx. Nakia Sanford wide open calling for it, but Coach Corey Gaines saying let's just work some clock here. Prahalis on the drive and kick finds Bonner. 2 on the shot clock. Bonner off balance, leaner, no. Up ahead, 2 seconds. Whalen getting up, and shot won't go down.
At the end of the first half of play, the Minnesota Lynx.
That brings us to the half here in downtown Phoenix, and Minnesota enjoying a 51-34 advantage. Stay tuned here at the half. Our halftime feature show. Mercury players and staff making a difference in our community in several different ways. We'll also have halftime stats and analysis right here on Fox Sports Arizona. There's Drysdale, big second quarter powering the Minnesota Lynx as they lead it here at the half, and Minnesota trying to bounce back after a tough one last night against the Los Angeles Sparks, handing them their worst loss of the season.
Yeah, I think they're a team right now just getting ready for the playoffs. They're number 1 seed in the West, and so they've got that locked up. I think that they're just trying to kind of ease in there. They're going to make sure that everybody's healthy. They've got another game against San Antonio. Probably feel that this is a winnable game for them, but they're a team that is on the rise and trying to win another championship.
Here's Peters and has that pass skip off her hands from Whalen. Turnover Minnesota, just their 5th. Phoenix with 10 turnovers, and Bonner
too much gum.
Kind of doubled over and took a shot to the stomach. Prahalis trying to get it inside to Dupree, but Brunson doing a nice job of fronting her. Here's Hornbuckle. Nice strong drive to the basket, takes it high off the glass and gets the finish. 4 points, 4 rebounds for Hornbuckle in her 13 minutes.
Well, that was a big difference, too, with Los Angeles last night. Certainly Candace Parker and Nneka Ogwumike had big games, double-doubles, but they had balanced scoring.
Quick look, Peters off the little handoff from Maya Moore. And Peters laying it up and in. 6 points, 5 rebounds for Devereaux Peters. Here's Hornbuckle, doubled up. Dupree. Nice drop-off pass inside to Thomas. Thomas staying with it. Now 7 on the shot clock. Bonner recognizing. And leans back, just able to get it onto the front of the iron, but nobody there to grab it for Phoenix. Up ahead, Augustus from Moore. Pull up Simone Augustus, no. But a rebound, Peters. Augustus just taking her time. Mismatch with Thomas, and Simone Augustus will win that one 9 out of 10 times.
Well, nickname Moni. Always money.
Just plays with an effortless grace.
Well, there was a knock on her, too, coming out of LSU that she couldn't shoot the 3. She was so efficient. She shot over 50% from the floor, but that was just it. She always got inside the 3-point lane and didn't have to shoot a 3. Didn't mean she couldn't shoot the 3.
Hornbuckle having to force that one up as the shot clock winding down once again, so Minnesota tightening up their defense.
I think Hornbuckle's pants were a little too low for that shot to go in.
The foul's number 14, Alexis Hornbuckle, her 3rd foul. First Mercury team foul. Lynx ball.
Here's Whalen directing traffic. Finds Augustus. Wanted to pass, but just kind of shot that one off her hip, and a loose ball foul. That'll be charged against Alexis Hornbuckle, and that will be 4 on Hornbuckle, who has to go to the bench with 7:33 to play here in the 3rd quarter.
You know, certainly a frustration by Hornbuckle in the way she's playing tonight, and you know, she's had to step in for Sammy Prahalis to play the point guard. Now she's back at the 2 position, so she's had to defend some different players, and a little frustration, and she just needs to keep her jerseys on.
Moore with the tip off and in, yep. Here's Dupree with the left hand, spins back right, and Peters doing a nice job of challenging that shot, but Dupree staying with it. Houston working baseline, and Brunson with a big block, but a whistle and a foul. That will be charged against Lindsay Whalen.
Well, they got a break on that. You like the Phoenix is attacking, and Sharday Houston had a wide open shot, probably about a 15, 16-foot jumper on the baseline attack, and she gets the call in her favor to go to the free throw line.
Houston able to sneak that one up and in. All-star back in 2009 with the Minnesota Lynx. 5th year out of UConn. 57-38. Here's Moore. Thought about the 3 instead. Explodes to the basket. Takes it off the glass. And she gets the finish and the foul. 17 points for Maya Moore in her 16 minutes.
Just so much under control. Effortless little move there, and Dupree not quick enough to get over, makes the contact, and Moore finishes the shot. But, you know, so much talk was about Maya Moore starting on the Olympic team and United States winning gold. I mean, all three of the players from Minnesota really contributed.
Prahalis trying to split the double team and gets tied up there by Whalen, who will be whistled for the foul.
As did Diana Taurasi.
Very much a UConn feel to it. And interesting, Gino Ariema coming out in the last few weeks saying that he will most definitely not return as U.S. coach.
It's a lot of pressure, especially the fact that when you're still coaching, whether you're coaching a WNBA team or a college team into that season, and it just builds up. And with the United States winning their 5th gold medal in a row, it gets tougher and tougher.
Augustus with a pull-up behind the line, knocks down the trio.
But the talent for the United States gets better and better.
Well, it really does.
2016, I think, will be an interesting team. It'll be very difficult to see who's going to be on that team because they'll be so good. And so many players coming in the next 3 years into the league.
Right.
Lynx ball. Into their goal line of 43, Nakia Semper.
Yeah, certainly to some degree a changing of the guard with that 2016 team, no doubt about it. I know that Diana Taurasi's making plans to head to Rio.
Making her mom and dad happy going back down south. But yeah, Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird, and Tamika Ketchens getting their 3rd Olympic gold medal, and Maya Moore was getting her 1st.
And speaking of Maya Moore, drains another 3. 21 points for Moore. Here's Thomas driving the lane and draws the contact, and will go to the line to shoot 2 as Hornbuckle back up off the bench with those 4 fouls.
The foul's number 32, Rebecca Brunson. Her
And
first
she'll
foul,
check in
her
here
16th
for
foul.
Prahalis.
Well, it's such an elite group, too, on the Olympic team, Kevin, as far as 3 gold medals. We just talked about the 3 that have won it, along with Cheryl Swoops. Katie Smith and Dawn Staley have won 3. Lisa Leslie has won 4 gold, as Teresa Edwards has won 4 gold, but she's also got a bronze, and she's the only one to have competed as a team athlete in 5 Olympics. That's a long stretch.
Absolutely remarkable.
And the fact that Diana Taurasi, and who knows if Sue Bird comes back
Right.
to try for their 4th.
Sanford trying to snag it. When they pointed Phoenix basketball, but it certainly appeared as though Nakia Sanford.
And see, I thought that's a play that Sanford's got to grab the ball. You know, one thing that I always learned, that you can't rely on the officials and what the call is going to be. And it's one of the things that Larry Bird always said. You never let somebody else make the call. You go ahead and get it.
Augustus raising up, firing the 3, and knocks it down again. 16 for Simone Augustus in her now 20 minutes. And certainly the kind of bounce-back effort that Cheryl Reeve and the Lynx were looking for after falling hard last night in L.A. Thomas banging inside with Moore. And we'll have the loose ball foul, and that's going to be charged against Thomas.
Minnesota's done a very good job on Dewana Bonner, but then on the other side, Simone Augustus, 2 of 4 from 3-point range. I should say 2 of 3. 6 of 14 from the floor, shooting the ball very well.
And Minnesota as a team, 8 of 14 from beyond the arc.
Well, 3 of 4 in the second half. Well, Sammy Prahalis getting a lot of playing time. You know, she had hurt her shoulder in New York against the Liberty early in the game, and just could not even raise that shoulder. So good for her to be able to come back and finish out the season the last 2 games.
But I think for young players especially, Annie, it's important to figure out there's a difference between pain and being hurt. I think any professional athlete will tell you, most of them, if they've been in the league for any period of time, they're playing with some kind of pain, almost always. And that's one of the lessons that rookies typically have to learn is you've got to play with pain some nights. And Prahalis doing her best to do that here this evening. Time out of the floor. 4:45 to play here in the third. Lynx 69, Phoenix 39.
Divide.
Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona offers health plans with choice, flexibility, and service. For information, visit askblueaz.com/Mercury. 69-39, all Lynx here after a competitive opening quarter. Minnesota flexing their muscle and showing you why they are the top team in the league, and by all rights, the favorite going into the upcoming WNBA playoffs. But you made the point earlier, Annie, Los Angeles is a team that definitely will be reckoned with, and not to sell the other teams in the postseason short, but I'd be stunned if we don't see a Minnesota-LA conference final as Whalen slips in baseline, nice reversal.
Yeah, San Antonio and Seattle being the other two teams in the West to make the playoffs, but you know, Connecticut and Indiana have fought very hard on the East.
You look at that potential matchup of Minnesota and LA in the conference finals. I mean, who do you ultimately give the edge to? Minnesota certainly have home court advantage, so that's a plus. As we noted, both teams 16-1 on their home floors.
And they split against each other.
Just under 4 to play here in the third. Prahalis hands it off to Kaiser. Kaiser getting it past the flying defender Moore, who came charging at her.
Well, that really helps. That's only the second basket made in the third quarter for Phoenix. They're 2 of 9 right now.
Here's Prahalis after the miss. Quick look at the three, and she's going to be fouled there by Jessica Adair. And so Prahalis will head to the line to shoot three. Several members of the Phoenix Suns in attendance here at tonight's game. Of course, informal workouts already underway. See Michael Beasley, DJ Tucker, Wesley Johnson, Markieff Morris, and of course their top draft pick, Marshall. And certainly some very heartbreaking and disappointing news with that of Channing Frye being lost for the upcoming season due to the enlarged heart.
Had a press conference this morning, and general manager, Lon Babby was saying that, you know, it's a journey for Channing, and maybe he comes back, doesn't know. Got to wait 3 months to see what happens to the heart. And, you know, he's just such a great guy.
Well, I know that he's worked extremely hard this offseason. In fact, Coach Corey Gaines, who's also a Suns assistant, had spent a lot of time with Channing, working him out as Channing was trying to get himself ready for the upcoming season. Of course, coming off of that shoulder injury, had surgery. So you certainly feel for him. And at the age of 29, right in the prime of his NBA career, very disappointing to say the least. But we'll have terrific support from the training staff and the organization.
Well, he was working out with Corey Gaines, and he wanted Corey to work him harder and thought that he should have been getting stronger and condition-wise, and just felt weak. And so that was really kind of the turning point as far as him going to get checked by the doctors.
Wiggins with the free throw. 74-43. Hornbuckle on the drive and scoop. Able to creep that one up and in. Aaron Thorne back on the floor now for the Lynx. Here's Wiggins. Long three on the way. Long rebound to the hands of Wright. And then Jessica Adair trying to finish it off. And she'll be fouled there by DeWanna Bonner. Of course, Adair out of George Washington. Originally drafted by Phoenix in 2009.
Jessica Adair to the line.
Played in just one game in 2010, but has fought her way back into the league.
DeWanna Bonner is still sitting at 9 points. Remember, we mentioned that she is the number 2 scorer in the league, and it's been a while since she's scored double or single digits.
34, Crystal Thomas.
Last time was at Seattle. Was her only game where she had single digits this year with 7.
And she got 7 points pretty quickly here for Phoenix. Takes the bounce pass feed from Prahalis, and Bonner with all kinds of hands raking at her. We'll get the whistle and the foul. That'll be charged against Moore.
And you and I had talked about that with DeWanna Bonner having to step up with Penny Taylor out and Diana Taurasi and Candace Dupree, that she's getting double and triple teamed, that it's making it very difficult for her. And she's getting banged, and so they key in on her because she knows she's going to score points.
Well, there will perhaps be no one happier to see those players back than DeWanna Bonner next season. But I think as you pointed out on a couple of broadcasts this year, it has certainly given DeWanna Bonner a whole new level of appreciation for the likes of Diana Taurasi and Penny Taylor, with getting some of the same kind of dealings defensively that they've had throughout their professional careers.
And you can only imagine next year Bonner will have one-on-one coverage a lot more. And so even look for, and it's a team, a lot of people feel that, we've talked about this in the past, that with Diana Taurasi on the team, and she's led the league in scoring quite a few years, and so people think, well, she just guns the ball. Well, she doesn't. I think the most she ever took was like 18 shots in a game and averaging about 12, 13 shots a game, and you spread that out and you're taking 70-plus shots. That's a lot of shots to take for everybody. So I'm sure that DeWanna Bonner will get her shots next year.
Adair, a little shuffle of the feet. Traveling call. Well, and we really, you know, for people who haven't watched Taurasi's game, or maybe haven't seen it since she's gone into the WNBA, you saw that on display in the Olympics, where a couple of games where she went an entire half really just looking to be nothing more than a distributor.
Well, and that's the maturity of it, and her college coach, Gino Ariema, talked about that, saying she still is the best player, because if you need her to be the point guard or any other position, she'll be the best at it.
Wiggins, pull-up three on the way, left it short. Kaiser trying to track it down, but instead lets it go out of bounds.
But if they were playing a team, the United States was playing a team that was not very talented, he knew that Diana Taurasi would not take a lot of shots, did not feel that she was needed in that game. But once it was a very competitive game, and if it was against Australia or Russia, Great Britain, France, a game that really meant something, Diana Taurasi was going to be involved.
Prahalis gets the ball poked away there. 1:29 here in the quarter, 12 on the shot clock. Well, and you think about just how many big shots she has hit during her career here in Phoenix. And, you know, certainly those championship years. Bonner takes the pass, beautiful baseline cut reverse from DB. She's now got 13. Terrific pass from Prahalis. Here's Moore sneaking inside. Hornbuckle got a hand on it, and then Kaiser finishing off the steal. Bonner, little scoop and score.
And she's so long. She's gotten banged up a little bit in this game, too.
Well, we talked about it. The top of the broadcast, coming in out of Auburn is Monica Wright's three, no good. Just that slender frame of hers, and people wondered how she would manage to survive in the WNBA with the physical rigors that there are. And the reality is she can eat and work out as much as she wants to. That's what you're going to get with DeWanna Bonner for the remainder of her career.
Well, you and I have been in the game long enough, and Jamal Wilkes, who played for the Warriors and the Lakers, and Reggie Miller, 19 years, and people thought his frame was too small.
Wiggins pulls the trigger on the three, no. Rebound, Thomas.
But I should say, DeWanna Bonner is the first player in the women's game we've seen of that size.
Nice pass from Bonner. Kind of froze the defender for a moment, looking at the three-point shot, and she fired a bullet inside. And Kaiser able to finish it off. And that will finish off the third quarter. A nice finish to the third. But right now, this one, all Minnesota. We head to the fourth. Lynx on top, 75-53. Saturday's Powerball jackpot is an estimated $174 million. Get your tickets today and check for the winning numbers at ArizonaLottery.com. It's time for the Powerball Power Play. Saw just moments ago, Prahalis, nice little crossover, and delivers a sweet dime to DeWanna Bonner with a finish in our Powerball Power Play.
Yeah, great backdoor by Bonner and good hands. Great recognition. And we talked earlier in the first half how, it wasn't working quite as well because of the timing and they hadn't played together as much, but Prahalis and Bonner certainly connected on that.
15 points for DeWanna Bonner, 10 from Prahalis, and 11 rebounds for Crystal Thomas, and that's 4 straight double-digit rebound performances out of Crystal Thomas. And
yeah, against Tulsa and LA, she had 14 rebounds, a career high 15 earlier in the season.
And Andy, you and I have talked throughout the course of the season in our broadcast about Crystal Thomas, just how much untapped talent she has in that body.
I really think Earl Curitan, an assistant coach this year, has gone in and worked with the bids and made a difference, and not their confidence, but just the different moves that he's got them working on and the timing and jumps. And I think Crystal Thomas has worked really, really hard to develop not only her rebounding, but working on her shot quite a bit. But you're right, the potential is certainly there.
Dupree starts the fourth quarter on the floor here for Phoenix, making her return to the lineup after missing 21 games, had that knee surgery. Bonner fighting for the rebound and claims it. And end result becomes a travel. Phoenix doing a little better job this second half, hanging on to the basketball.
You only had 3 turnovers in that third quarter, but also Minnesota was not able to take advantage of it like they had in that the second quarter.
All bench players on the floor here for Cheryl Reeves Lynx. Feeling they've got this one secure. Peters steps into the 18-footer, too strong, rebound Bonner. 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 15 points for DB. Across the lane, lost the handle, up ahead to Wright. And Wright just lays it up and in easily with the left hand. Quiet night for Monica Wright. She's typically had some of her best games against Phoenix. Playing just 9 minutes, though, this evening.
Yeah, big game against Los Angeles last night with 19 points and had a lot of minutes there.
Here's Dupree with that silky smooth right elbow pull-up. 8.6 rebounds and limited minutes here for Candace Dupree. Just so good to see number 4 back out there on the floor in a Mercury uniform. Here's Wright on the drive. Adair, free throw line pull up, got it.
Adair showing her range, 15-footer.
Prahalis, beautiful little runner.
Wow, she got right by Candace Wiggins, faked her out.
12 points, 6 assists for Sammy P. And you think back to the first few weeks of the season, and Prahalis led the league in assists. And how about Aaron Thorne? Her 4th 3 of the night, and if you missed it earlier, as you told us, Annie, shooting 27%, had 6 threes on the entire season. She was 6 of 22, and she's 4 of 5 here tonight.
Well, we've also said it never fails. Somebody comes in and gets a career high doing something against the Mercury, but Thorne showing her range, too, way beyond the three-point line.
Just out there in front of Coach Corey Gaines. Dupree kicks it out to Bonner, trying to answer with a trio of her own. No.
Yeah, Bonner has struggled with the threes tonight, 1 of 5.
Nice drive by Wright, but can't get the finish. Bonner got a 2-on-1. Drops it off for Prahalis, scoops it over to Bonner. And DB there to get the finish. Another assist for Prahalis.
It was really a nice break how spread out they were.
Heat check for Aaron Thorne, and the microwave is still on high.
Well, it's interesting. The last couple plays, too, I think that the officials are letting things go a little bit because there's been some contact, and you think normally those would be fouls.
Now you wonder if there's dinner planned somewhere. Prahalis, left wing pull up, left that one short. Hornbuckle, just never-ending hustle out of Alexis Hornbuckle. Prahalis steps into a little 14-footer.
Yeah, you can't turn your head with Alexis Hornbuckle if she's around.
Boy, and as frustrating as this season has been for the fans, you just can't say enough about the hustle of this team and the players who have been on the floor. And Hornbuckle, a great example. Just, they might be down by 30, but they're going to keep playing hard.
Well, exactly. As much as they struggled in the second quarter against Minnesota, and really the first part of the third quarter, they've really come alive in this first quarter.
Hornbuckle trying to dial up a 3. Can't find the range. She is 0 for 3 tonight. Right on the drive. That pass sailing. Wiggins getting a hand on it. Get a whistle and a foul. That'll be charged against Nakia Sanford. 5:15 to play here in the fourth. Timeout on the floor. Our score here from downtown Phoenix. Lynx 85, Mercury 61. 85-61, all Minnesota here is they are just minutes away from grabbing their 27th win of the season. And DeWanna Bonner, one of the true survivors of this 2012 season for Phoenix, and without the likes of Taurasi, Taylor, Dupree for much of the campaign, you see what DeWanna Bonner has done. 3-time Sixth Woman of the Year, and might bring home another postseason honor. She is certainly in the mix for most improved, and you saw the numbers.
Well, the big thing, too, she's averaging 10 more minutes, 35 minutes a game this year compared to 25 last year. And, she was 91% free throw shooter, shot 99 free throws. She shot over 200 this year. And she's had 5 games where she's had double-doubles, 20 points, 10 rebounds this year.
Beautiful play by Prahalis. Can't get that one to go down there. Is a little too strong off the back of the iron.
Yeah, the other thing, too, with Bonner is she is the highest career rebounding average in franchise history. Just beating out Jennifer Gillum, Olympian and Hall of Famer, this year. So over her career in only 4 years, 6.3 rebounds. Gillum did it in 6 and was nicknamed Grandmama, was in her 30s doing it. Kind of like Taj McWilliams-Franklin.
Yeah, the ageless wonder in street clothes tonight as they get her rested and ready.
And she is only one of 2 players in the league that have played that has 5,000 points and 3,000 rebounds, along with Lisa Leslie.
Here comes Hornbuckle, drops it off to Prahalis.
What a nice pass.
Couldn't quite get the shot to go down.
Really a nice pass by Hornbuckle, and a tough break for Prahalis for it not to go in. They have to like that the Suns players are here, because the WNBA players always enjoy playing against their opponent when they've got NBA players watching them.
Sure. 1 second on the shot clock, and Thorne, that's going to bring her 3-point shooting percentage down. She wanted a foul. That puts her at 5 of 7 now in the night.
Prahalis was a little sneaky on that one, because Thorne in this game certainly has not missed that bad.
Hornbuckle enjoying a laugh with Thorne. Here's Bonner across the top of the key. And Sanford going the other direction. Another turnover, Phoenix. Here comes Wiggins. Wiggins lost the handle, but Adair there to grab it. Nice pass inside to Peters, who takes it off the glass.
I tell you, Devereaux Peters, her athleticism inside too, and her quickness make a difference for them.
8 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists for Devereaux Peters. Prahalis with a nice dribble penetration. Bonner trying to squeeze that one up off the glass. Moving in on 3 minutes left to play. Season finale Sunday at noon here at the U.S. Airways Center. Thorne can't finish. Out to Wiggins. Long 3 on the way, no. And Phoenix basketball. And of course, next week, all eyes on New York for the draft lottery. We'll talk more about that. Timeout on the floor. 2:56 to play here in this one. 87-63 Minnesota.
Outside section 117.
Oh, I certainly hope you can join the Mercury for Fan Appreciation Day, the last home game of the season. It's this Sunday at noon versus Seattle. The first 7,000 fans get a team poster, plus Mercury players will stay after the game and sign autographs on the main court. Tickets start at just $10. Get yours at PhoenixMercury.com. .256 to play in this one, 87-63, and scoring has been problematic all season long, and tonight a perfect example, Annie. They've scored 75 points in the last several ball games, and threatening to have that one wiped off the board tonight as well.
Yeah, in the last 2 games where they did not score even 60 was against Chicago and New York.
7 of the last 9 where they've scored 75, and we get a little extracurricular activity going on across the lane. It's going to be charged on Alexis Hornbuckle, and Hornbuckle going to use almost every foul that they're going to give her against her former club.
Well, I know she wears that pad, you know, for the backside of her in the hip, but it must bring her pants down throughout the game.
A dare.
Or maybe she's wearing a size too big.
The foul's on number 12. Lynetta Kaiser, her first foul. 3rd Mercury team foul. Jessica Adair to the line. Attempting 2.
Adair a little too strong on that free throw. And misses the pair. Lynetta Kaiser on the floor, grabs the rebound. Houston has that one rejected by Adair. Wiggins finds the trailing Thorne. Here comes another three. Too strong on that one. Kaiser with a rebound.
Well, that one where she said that Prahalis had fouled her, maybe threw her shot off.
Kaiser says, why not? I'll join in on the three-point party.
Well, she shot the three at Maryland.
That's her third of the season.
Now you really look to see Kaiser on this team next year, and brings you a lot of energy and really a good player on the bench.
And shot clock violation. Well, you look at Lynetta Kaiser, and then you factor in the emergence of Crystal Thomas. We talked about her 4 straight games now and double-digit rebounding.
But you like, too, that Kaiser doesn't hesitate. She's very confident in her face-up game. And then with the draft pick.
The draft pick. Draft lottery coming up next week, the 26th. Coach Corey Gaines will head off to New York after Sunday's game. And everybody will be watching with great anticipation the ping pong balls.
Well, the 3 players that have been talked a lot about in college are Brittany Griner, the 6'8" center from Baylor. Elena Deladon, who led the NCAA in scoring last year with over 28 a game, and Skylar Diggins, point guard from Notre Dame, who was on the 3-on-3 USA World team that won that championship.
Kia Sanford turnaround right of the lane will go down. Well, certainly has a chance with that pick to really shape the future of this franchise over the next several years. Pass inside, Kaiser the steal.
Well, they've had 2 #1 picks, and that was Diana Taurasi in 2004, and then 2007 was traded away for Tangela Smith,
which resulted in a couple of titles.
Mercury ball.
Phoenix ball, 9.8 remaining. Monica Wright with the steal, and just dribble the timeout with this one. That will do it. The Lynx winning their 27th game of the season. They'll head off to San Antonio, and the Lynx then preparing for the upcoming WNBA playoffs. For the Phoenix Mercury, one final home game, that being on Sunday against Seattle. That one getting underway at noon. Any final thoughts, Annie?
Yeah, it was a tough one for Phoenix. I thought that they came out in that first quarter, played really well, played hard. They were right with Minnesota. Minnesota is so deep also, and we talked all year long, too, about the depth factor for this Phoenix team. They run out of gas by the end of the game.
Yeah, it was a 15-3 scoring run to begin the second quarter for Minnesota, and they never looked back. Well, this is the final Mercury broadcast of the season here on Fox Sports Networks. We thank you so much for joining us all season long. Phoenix winds up the season on Sunday, as we mentioned, against the Storm at high noon. Get your tickets at phoenixmercury.com. For our producer, director, David Hughes, and Ann Myers-Drysdale, I'm Kevin Ray saying good night from downtown Phoenix, where the Lynx win it 89-66.